Bless you.
Thank you.
Is that the new one? Kind of be discontinued again?
No, it's a different website, so hopefully not.
Okay. All right, so first and foremost, everyone put your pencils down. How many of you guys went back to this page? Anybody go there? Okay. How many of you guys, I think that was, so that was essentially probably the most, should have been, that one and this one, should have been the most helpful one that you guys should have been looking at. How many of you guys did not bother looking back in your notebook at all? Okay. I mean, there were more than just Sebastian. Why? Why not?
Because I'm lazy.
Okay. And I appreciate your honesty because that's a lot of the reasons. All right. Jeffrey, why didn't you look back? Okay. And I appreciate that because honestly, guys, like that's part of our, sometimes I feel like that's part of our problem we are, as teachers, very giving to you guys and say, hey, try this. Hey, look here. But sometimes you have to just figure it out on your own. We have these wonderful notebooks. Well, you're supposed to have these wonderful notebooks that have a lot of good information in them. Remember, all the stuff we're going over is a review of stuff we've already covered. So you can find it some way, shape, or form in your notebook. All right, so let's start with A. It says describe how many can find M, the slope. So what did you guys say with that one? I saw a couple of right answers.
Negative 4.
Not what the slope is, but how can we find it? Nevaeh.
I think the y2 minus y1.
Excuse me, so that's the slope formula, which is the y2 minus y1 divided by or over x2 minus x1. So essentially that is the correct answer for A.
Can I put anything else?
I mean, you could have wrote more, but for the most part, like that's essentially what I want you to know. You, especially with the table, you're picking two of those coordinates and you're finding the x1, y1, x2, y2.
I just put a graph.
Okay, but you don't have a graph. Like over here, these are all tables.
But you can put those numbers in a graph.
You can. You're right. You're not wrong. All right. How do you find the y-intercept? This one was interesting. How do you think you find the y-intercept? So what is the y-intercept? Let's start with that.
The line.
Brayden.
It's where it crosses over the y-axis.
There was a grown man with sunglasses that just walked down the hallway I ain't never seen before. Close the door. I'm not sure what's going on. No, I'm just kidding. But there was a grown man. Sorry. Squirrel. What'd you say?
That's where the line crosses over the y-axis.
Yes. So it is where the line crosses over the y-axis. So again, how do we figure this out using the table? What do you think?
Use the first one in the y, because if it's not 0, then it doesn't start the origin.
Right. So you have to find in your table where x equals 0. Okay, we did that a lot of practice of that yesterday. So looking where x equals 0, or if you want to explain it and write it in words, it's where, oh, I just totally had it and I forgot it. So x equals 0, all right. I don't know what I was going to write. Sorry, y'all. I just totally had a brain fart. All right, and then what could an equation be? So what is our equation for this relationship? So y equals what?
Negative 4n plus 6. Or negative 4x plus 6.
Okay, good job. Y equals negative 4x plus 6. Can you explain how you got that?
I use my formula because n is the slope and then b is your y-intercept.
Okay, good job. Did everybody understand what she said?
No,
No? Okay, what do you not understand? Like, honestly.
I don't know.
Well, how am I supposed to help you if you don't know?
I don't know.
Like what part did you not understand? Nevaeh, do you have your work on your paper? Can I see your paper? Maybe seeing it might help. No, I mean, you had it covered, right? And you use those two? Yeah. All right, so she used the formula of the y2 minus y1 over x2 over minus x1. So she picked these 2 points, plugged it in. She didn't show her work, but she plugged it into this formula.
I did show it. It's at the top.
Sorry, she did show her work. It's at the top. It's right here. So she plugged it in, simplified it, got that negative 4. So that's where the slope comes from. This is how you find slope when you're given only points.
Wouldn't it be like a minus?
What is your y-intercept is right here, right? So what is your y?
6.
So it's plus 6. Does that make sense? Kind of, sort of, maybe? Okay. Lots of practice today with it. Thank you, Nevaeh. It's not hard. Just gotta do the work. All right, so now let's slide down to the tables. So it says 1 through 4, you're gonna write an equation in slope-intercept form to represent each linear equation. So we just talked about the steps of finding slope. We just talked about the steps of finding your y-intercept. Please get a highlighter out. I don't care what color. You are gonna need 2 today though. All right, so for this one, when I highlight that one, why did I highlight the second one? What is that second one essentially explaining to us or showing us? Ben? It's showing us the y-intercept. So for one, that's a really easy one to pick out because the x is equal to 0. So we know that our y-intercept is going to be 6. Now, the rest of this, unfortunately, you're going to have to do work not in your, or on your paper, but in your notebook. So, do we want to use this as one of our pairs, or do we want to pick 2 different ones?
That.
This one and what other one? Before it? We're going to play with negative numbers today?
I guess not.
Uh,
The one after it.
all right, Bash, we'll no, we'll play this game. All right, so
It's just lower than this.
that's fine. So this is going to be x1, this is going to be x2, this is going to be y1, this is going to be y2. Now, in your notebook, let's set this up as in our equation to find our slope. So for number 1, you're going to do 6 minus negative 2 or 25 hundredths. And then you're going to do 0 minus negative 5. You what? It's a decimal?
Yeah,
I have it.
I know what I'm saying, it's a negative and a decimal.
I know. He's got super ambitious today. All right, so what do we know about the negatives? What are we going to actually have to do with them? Yeah, so it's keep, change for both of those. So this becomes what? 6 plus 25 hundredths becomes what?
6.25.
6.25. And then 0 plus 5?
5.
5. Now, do we really want to leave that as our slope? What can we do with that to make it a little bit easier? I mean, simplify, yes, but we could divide it by what? Yes. Divide by 5. So you're going to have to do the 6 and 25 hundredths divided by 5. Stand up when you have your answer. And yes, you have to do this in your notebook because there's clearly not enough room to do this on the page. Here, watch. Audrey? Anthony?
Yeah.
Come get some calculators. Nico, come get a calculator. Jeffrey, come get a calculator. Raiden, come get a calculator.
I knew it.
Yeah, stand up when you're finished, guys. Jasmine, come get calculators. Alright, yes, I'm giving you a calculator because I don't want you to focus on the math, I want you to focus on the process. So stand up when you have your slope. All right, what'd you come up with, Nico? What'd you come up with? Like, what was your answer?
1.25.
So your slope is going to be 1.25. All right. How do we take this information then right here and make an equation? Nevaeh.
Y equals 1.25x plus x.
Okay. Questions about that one? Anthony, make sense or no? Does it make sense? Yeah.
I just said exactly wrong.
See, there it goes again.
Huh?
Who was Cam? Who was that grown man with sunglasses behind you when you come back from the bathroom?
I don't know, I just started walking fast.
It's weird.
That's Uncle
There's a
Joey.
grown man on school with sunglasses.
Tyrone.
It wasn't Tyrone. All right, go ahead. Do number 2 with your group member.
I'm not in your Shushy Brussels Seems like that every compliment is non-compliment way. I'm joking. I'm literally joking. I'm literally joking. I literally don't know how to do this.
Fine, sorry. So,
I literally don't know how to do this. I always pay attention, so I do not touch it. Oh, the only thing that's hard is like, I
so now, how do you get out of 44.4? No.
What is 120? That's 0. That's 0 down.
Divide it by 5 to get.
And we got new barcodes too. I think there's some in your room for, I think you need 5. So it's not in there, let me know. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and go over this. So, what two equations, or what two order pairs are we going to use?
6 and
2 and 4.
Jesus Lord, y'all. So 6. You picked the hard one too.
I don't pick the easy one.
All right. So Anthony, since we picked the ones you wanted, this is going to be x1, this is going to be y1, this is going to be x2, y2. Do I know my y-intercept?
No.
Nope. So I have to do work for that too?
I don't know.
You don't know? How'd you figure out your y-intercept? Okay, fair enough. All right, so we have 170 minus 130. And then we have 8 minus 6. So when I do 170 minus 130, what do I get? 40. And when I do, no, it's not 140, babe. Do you have a calculator?
Oh, I meant this one. I don't know.
All right, when I do 8 minus 6, what do I get?
2.
2. All right, I can simplify this down to what? 20. All right, so my slope is going to be 20. How do I figure out what my y-intercept is, though? Okay, what do I have to do? All right, Cam, what do you think?
Like on the Y thing, like you gotta count how many, like each thing, you gotta count how many it goes up.
So you're talking about
That's what I did.
like this way?
How do you do that?
Yeah, like
So like plus 2? All right, so that goes up plus 2, but then this goes up what? Plus 40. So how does that work? Isn't that my slope?
No, 20 is your slope. That's how much.
So
Well, technically 40 over 2 is,
Miss Kenny,
yes.
Happy.
Hold on. So Nevaeh said, well, don't you have to find one first? Anthony, do you need to leave my class today? The only thing that needs to come out your mouth is constructive stuff. Okay? All right, so do we need to find 1?
no.
Yes.
So you guys tell me, how did you find y? Because this is not an easy one. Sorry, how did you find your y-intercept? Because there's no 0x.
you can graph it.
Audrey.
So I took 2 over 15, and then I divided by 2 to get 1 over 25 to solve for 1.
So you did this, and then you said you divided by 2, and you ended up with 1 over 25? Okay, so you're saying that's our y-intercept? One.
That's just how far I got. I didn't know what to do afterwards.
Okay. Did anybody do something different?
Yes.
What'd you do?
I don't know if this is right, but I saw it was going backwards from 2. So I went backwards from 2, and 2 minus 2 is 0, and since it's going down by 40, it would be 10.
Okay, so you're looking at, you're right. I'm just trying to figure out how to, I'm just trying to figure out how to explain it so everybody understands.
Yes.
So he essentially went this way,
Yes.
and you subtracted 2 here.
Yeah.
So then you subtracted 40 here,
Yes.
and you ended up with 0 over 10?
Yes.
No way. Is that easy?
Is that easy?
Is that easy?
It's that easy.
That's what I was talking
Oh,
It's that easy.
That's what.
It is. That's
Come here, broski.
Exactly what I was talking about.
No, I did that. I did that. So that should be
It
fine.
is because
Do not share with Brayden. Share with Brayden, I'm gonna eat it.
And then share everybody.
So the y is 10.
That's what I was saying.
That's not what you were saying. You said add. No, you were saying add. I did exactly what you said.
I didn't know how to explain it.
What, subtract 2, subtract 40?
Yes, like add 40 things to go back.
Okay, Cam, I'll go with you. All right, so then raise your hand. Tell me shh. What is my equation? Ellie.
Y equals 4x plus 1.
All right, let's do the next one. Number 3. Work with your partners. Stand up when you're finished.
It's a one. Yeah, it's a one. Alright, so there's not gonna be plus.
Jeffrey, I need you to get focused right now, son.
Yep.
Can I go get some water?
It goes up by 2. No, it goes up.
Up 3, and then it goes down.
Down. Yes. So it's gonna be 3. No, yeah, negative 6 or 4. So y equals negative 2x. Pull back.
Are you finished? You guys gonna stand up? When you're done, stand up, guys. Because it's not rocket science. It really isn't.
I got y equals 2x.
And I'm letting you use the calculator.
How do you figure out when it's supposed to change how it works?
That means it looks switched to sin.
Well, okay, so if you go, like you're increasing by 3, right? So it's exact 3. You get 0 for your x,
How'd you
right?
get that?
Okay, and then you're kind of essentially adding 6 here. Sorry, you're subtracting 6 here to go this way. So then to go that way, what do you have to do? No, you're gonna add, because you're subtracting 6 this way, so you're doing the opposite of, like, so here you're doing plus 3, so here you're gonna minus 3 to go down. Right, so then what is your y? Your mental math has failed, so you might wanna check your mental math. There's gotta be someone down there. Alright, what I just said. Stand outside. These two are dancing, hold hands. You're over here saying, Tyrone, get outside. Or shut your mouth and stop saying Tyrone.
Well, he just did something.
He did. You said it?
But I finished my work and I thought,
It don't matter. So if you're good and you're not gonna say it again, sit down. Alright, so what is my slope? Walk me through it. What two pair, ordered, whatever you want to call it, are we using? Alright, Audrey.
The first two.
First two. So this is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to do negative 12 minus negative 6. And I'm going to do 6 minus 3. All right, what do I do next, Audrey?
You're gonna keep change, and you get negative 12 plus 6. And that gives you negative 6. And then 6 minus 3 is 3, so you have a negative 6 over 3, and that gives you negative 2.
Okay,
So that's your slope.
so my slope is going to be negative 2. All right, and then Cam. So how are we increasing on our table? Like the top. What are we doing? Like how am I going from here to here and here to here?
plus 3.
Okay, so this is plus 3. And how am I going from here to here?
And negative 6.
Minus 6. So Cam, what do I do to find the other way? If I'm adding 3, what am I doing here to go this way?
Subtract 1.
Right, so I'm going to subtract 3, that gives me 0. Then down here, if I'm subtracting 6, what am I doing here?
Adding 6.
Adding 6. So negative 6 plus 6 gives me 0. So therefore my slope is, or sorry, my y-intercept is. Okay? All right, and then what does my equation look like? Someone other than Nevaeh. Ariana.
Y equals negative 2x.
Okay? All right, last one. Do not freak out because there are fractions. It's not a big deal, I promise. Everybody, you're doing these two ordered pairs. Okay? Those are the two that you're doing. Stand up when you're finished.
Well, how did you,
This is easier.
But you did the fraction part, just keep it a fraction.
But it's easier to make it a decimal. So I'm still right.
yes.
Why do you have 1/1/6?
Because it's going around. It's going like the, oh, I forgot that Bryce is at one. So it's just 150.
So just keep it as the fraction. Because then you just subtract that or add. So you plus 1 plus 1, right? So then it's remember your y intercept. It's not that big. Oh, no, I didn't get past that. When did you get how much was that? Wow, we're not at that. Still have some more. Right, but if you set it up, if you, these two, so, alright, so you have negative, so you have,
Oh, I used to agree.
no, I told you which one to use.
But why is it which one?
It shouldn't, but with your abilities and whatnot, I'm a little concerned. So when you take, those two go away, you can have like 1/5 or over the action. Which is just 1/5. It does look right. I don't know how you got. Oh, and the other thing is, it's like if you're using these two, this is your second one, that goes first. It's y2 minus y1, x2 minus x8. So your formula. That's your formula. No, you have it backwards. That's why you got some crazy number. If you flip it around, you should get the same number that everybody else gets. All right, let's go ahead and go over this. Cam, walk me through this.
Put the X's on the top. So
X's?
zero- So zero.
I told you.
But
Your y's go on the top.
what?
y1 minus y2.
On my thing I have X.
Well, you wrote it wrong. All right, Cam, I'll come back to you. So when we subtract, we do 1 and 1/5 minus 1, which gives me 1/5. 1 minus 0 gives me 1. So this just becomes what? 1/5. So that is my slope. How do I figure out my y-intercept? You what? It'll be under 0. What do you mean?
Like on the table, if like for example 1 is under 0,
Okay. So then what is my y? 1. All right. So Cam, knowing this is my slope and that is my y-intercept, what is my equation?
So y equals 1/5 x plus 1.
Mm-hmm.
Or y equals 0.20 plus 1.
Sure. All right. You are picking between 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You have to pick 3 of them to do. I don't care which 3 you do. When you are done with it, you are going to bring me your paper. I'm going to check it, and then I'm going to give you your homework. If you do not finish the 3 of those problems, that will become your homework along with your other homework. Okay? So you're picking 5 through 9. You're picking 3 of them. What?
Oh, we have partners?
Huh?
We have partners?
Why? So you can write Tyrone on your paper? Yes.
Yes, thank you.
You may work with a partner. Only, well, I mean, some of you guys are sitting with 4 people, but please make sure it's only 2 people working together.